Hey everybody, Danielle here. I'm doing a solo playthrough of Forges of Ravenshire. I got this already set up and ready to go. I'm going to be the blue player, so I have my blue cubes already here for tracking all these goods. So we have wood, we have ore, charcoal, steel, and leather. And we start with one of each. We also start with one action token and 4 coins. I have them stacked up. And then you also grab one of each dice in each of these colors, purple, I guess orange, and green. You're also going to grab 6 cards that match your player board color and character. And these will be your reference cards. So looking at these two, we have the goods and mystics. So this basically tells you what the icons mean and what they're for. And then we have some actions, gathering phase, production phase, and end of season phase reference cards as well. So every player will end up getting one of those. Make sure you also add these little rectangular tokens to the board, because these will be required for you to unlock to be able to place a guild member into your board. So that will come into play a little bit later, but you do have one that's open already. And then some starting ones, which you could decide to cover with a guild member you recruit during the game. You can also have opportunities to upgrade. You can upgrade your forgery and your kiln. And then you can also upgrade the market as well with this one. So throughout the game, you'll be able to spend 1 coin and 2 actions to upgrade either of those 3. And I believe lastly, you'll just gain 1 basic contract, level 1. And that is from this deck, because everyone starts at reputation 1 when they're on the reputation track. So this is the one I have. I'll need 4 steel, 2 wood, and 2 leather to complete this contract throughout the game. And if I do, I get the rewards on the right, which is 1 action point or action token and 7 coins. So I have this here just to let me know, remind me what I might need to prioritize getting, which in this case is probably going to be steel. Setting up the AO deck would be detailed in the rulebook, so definitely follow that. But once you do it, you have it all set up face down here in this deck. You'll place your final finish card here. And actually, I need to make some room because I need to place the item cards that are going to show the priority of the contracts that the AO would go for on their turn. And that's from left to right, the priority of the contracts. You'll also set up the priority of the guilds from left to right. So this is the top priority, middle, and then lowest priority. And then here, they also grab 1 of each dice at the beginning of the game. They start with 4 goods cubes. So whenever they gain a good in this game, they gain a goods cube. And then because I'm playing up on apprentice level, they will be able to create or complete contracts if they have a total of 13 goods cubes. So something to keep in mind. And they gain gold whenever they gain any mystics, which would be a talisman, dragon scales, mithril, or ember gem. And they also gain a gold whenever they gain action tokens as well. So I think we're ready to start. I will go over some of these things right when we start the game, but I start the game with this first player token, and it does switch at the end of the season. This game is played over 4 seasons. The seasons are tracked up here by this little oven thing, and then you start the game by rolling the dice and then just randomly placing them. So you'll place them in the outlined white sections, not changing the value. And basically there are going to be a total of 6 locations. This is the Sharp Rock Mountains. You can gain ore here, along with potentially mithril. And then we have the Tannery District. You could gain leather or a talisman as well if you happen to have that value. The Darkwood Forest gets you wood and dragon scales possibly. Smoky Valley gains you charcoal and possibly ember gems. And then we have the Bramwell Foundries giving you steel and the potential to get action tokens. And lastly, we have the guild halls, and this will give you the ability to recruit new guild members, which are up here. At a cost, you have to pay the cost on the left side, and potentially to gain extra goods or extra mystics. This is the reputation track. The higher you go, the more points you'll be able to get, or more gold you'll be able to get at the end of the game, depending on where your point tracker is on. But if you do land on a spot with some of these bonus items, you do get to gain them as well. The right hand side are titles. You'll be able to gain titles at the end of each season. So if you've completed any of them, you happen to be the first one to gain that title, you gain 8 coins for that. Guildmaster is 6, Weaponsmith is 8, and Brightsmith is 6. And then these are just the priority tokens for the AO, which is it stands for Automated Opponent. I referenced the contracts here before. There are going to be 3 columns, one for each of the 3 reputations that you could get. Again, we're at reputation 1. If we have an opportunity to gain a contract through using an action token, we can only choose to gain a contract that is equal or less than the reputation we're at. So right now, we really need to just focus on this column of the reputation 1 for now. All right, so we roll the dice for me and the AO, and then we kind of just set them aside and not change the value. All right. Okay. So first things first is the gathering phase. During the gathering phase, you'll place one of your dice, and then you'll take a die, and then you'll run a guild. So you're going to go do this 3 times for each of your dice, and so will the AIs. You're going to alternate turns. I'll start. So I'll place a 2 here. And because I placed the 2 there, I gain 2 leather and a talisman. So the value of the dice is what matters here. It doesn't really matter the color when you're placing a die. When you're gaining a die, the color might matter because that's where you place it on your board, depending on the color. So if I were to take this purple, I had to slot it here, and then the next step would be to run the guild. So that is something you want to keep in mind when you take a die. In this case, I'm going to grab... I think I will grab this 1. I'll put it right here. And the 1 allows me to gain a good and also recruit a guild member. And I will recruit... I'll spend 2 coins to recruit this guild member, which will give me extra leather. And then I'll gain a good, and the good I will gain is steel. Now after that, I get to run my guild. So I get to gain everything in this column in any order that I like. I'll gain a leather, and then I'll gain any good, I'll gain a steel. So that was my first gathering phase with the die. It's important to keep in mind that there are actions available to use before I do a gathering phase action. So I could do gain a contract by spending an action token, refresh a row and gain a contract from any of those that were refreshed, and then recruiting a guild member I could do as well. So as long as I have action tokens, I could do any of those. And then lastly, here at the bottom, it says build and upgrade. So I'll be able to do that during the gathering phase or the production phase, which comes after. All right. So the AO's turn is controlled by this deck. We'll just simply flip it over. This first one is an event. It'll tell me what to do. So it will mean that I chose red. So this is the token for the red automated opponent. And so I chose that it will be red. I'm moving it up 1 because that's the reputation icon. It will gain a good, so it's just going to gain a cube. And then I draw another card in the deck. All right. So this card will give me a bunch of dice, but I look at the top one. If the AO has a purple die, that's the die I will use. And then I get to place it starting from the one, like basically this is the priority. If there are no dice placements available, I would have to just go down this line of locations to add the die to. And then here, this tells me which die to take. And so I would take the lowest yellow die that's on the board. If I don't have a yellow die on the board, I'll take a green one. And then if I can't choose between two of the same values for some reason, this tells me the priority order, which is locations 1, and then moving forward from there. If they do have a purple die, I will place it on location 1. They gain 2 goods and a mithril, which gives them 1 gold. And then they're going to take the lowest yellow, which is this 4. That's going to give them 2 more goods. And then when they run their guild, they're going to just run down the left side, basically. And that means they're going to get 1 good. Can't forget to refill this. We'll push this down and then refill it. Okay. And then now we have to just check if they have any contracts to be completed. They do complete them immediately. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So at 13 they would complete one, but right now they don't. And that's it for their turn for now. I'm going to take this 3 and I'll put it here. I'll gain 3 wood because that's a value of 3. So 3 wood brings me to 4. And then I get to take a die. And I think so I have everything I need for this. Might be good to get some charcoal though. Oh, I don't have the opportunity to do that. That's okay. All right, I'll take this 2. Put it right here. I'll gain 2 ore. Oh. And then a mithril. Now I run my guild. I get to gain a gold or spend a gold for an action token. I'll gain a gold. And I think that's it for me. See what they do. They're going to move a yellow die to location 2, which is full. So they'll look at location 3, which is full. Then they go back to location 1. So they place it there. They gain 2 and a mithril, which is a gold. Actually, that was the number 4 they placed. So just 2. They don't gain that gold. And they complete a contract. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. I'll return all but 1. And then they will take the topmost contract that they can with their reputation that matches from left to right their priority. So they're going to take this kite shield and complete it. And that gains them 10. 11 gold. And an action token, which means 1 more gold. Okay, so that's completed. We'll put that down. And then we'll flip over the next one. Okay. And now they have to take a die. So they have to take the highest yellow die, which is the 6. And then when they take that 6, they gain 1 good. And then they gain another good for running through the guild. And it's back to me. I think I'll place something here because I would like access to that later. So I gain 2 charcoal, 1, 2, and then I gain an ember gem. And then I have to take a die, and it's important to note you can't take a die you just placed. I'll take this 3. The 3 gives me 3 wood. 1, 2, 3. I think that's where it was. Okay. And then now I run through the guild. So that's gaining a good. I guess I'll gain 1 ore and then a leather. And I haven't done any actions just yet. I guess I could have probably recruited something, but I'll leave it as is. So let's see what they will do here. They're going to move the green die to space 5, which I think is here. So it's a 2, they gain 1 good, which is 1 cube. And then they will take the highest yellow, which is this one. And now they're going to gain 2 goods. And an ember gem, which is just a gold. Okay. So they'll run through this guild and they gain 1 good. So now that the gathering phase is done, because all our dice have been placed within our guilds, we move on to the production phase, which only the player does. So during the production phase, you're going to grab your 3 dice without changing its value. You're going to place it on the production side of your board. You have this section up here, which has 4 different slots, and then you have the forgery and the kiln section where you could place the additional dice to trade some of your resources into either steel, which is here, or use wood to burn into charcoal. Up here will let you go through another guild. This will give you 2 action tokens, and these 2 doesn't matter about the value of the dice, but these 2 do matter about what you get depending on the value of your dice. I have a 1, 3, and 2. The colors don't matter. So I think I'll probably put this here to gain 2 action tokens, but we first place all the dice and then we'll figure it out. I'll go here. Okay, so now I complete the production, so I'll go ahead and remove this die, and I will complete, I'll do this one where I gain a good. I'll gain a wood, and then I'll gain that leather. Now I'll do this, which is gaining 1 mystic, 1 good, and 1 ore. So the mystic I'll gain is a mithril, and then the good I'll gain will be, I think it'll be another charcoal. Lastly, I have this 2, which gives me 2 action tokens. Okay, so that was my production phase. I get to complete contracts, and so I also get to do Ominous Dagger. So I go down, ooh, I need steel. How did that happen? Hold up, so I'm actually gonna decrease 1 on the wood and gain a steel because I needed that. Wasn't paying attention there. Okay, so now I'm decreasing that by 4, decreasing the leather by 2, and then decreasing the wood by 2 as well. So I completed Ominous Dagger. I gain 1 action token, and then I gain 7. I'll just use a 5 there. I gain 7 gold. All right, so that's completed. And what I can do here is I can choose to put it on one of these rows on my board with a special finish, which means I could complete it and put it here. And if I happen to have 2 mithrils and 1 charcoal to spend, I also go up 1 on the reputation track. I could put it here and not get any bonuses. I could put it here and spend 2 ember gems and 1 charcoal to gain 5, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 coins. But I think I'll go up here spending 2 mithrils. So the mithrils, they actually look like this. And then I'll also spend 1 charcoal. And I go up the reputation by 1, which allows me to gain a good. I'll gain a steel. During the production phase, I could also build an upgrade, and I'll go ahead and do that. I'll spend an action token and a coin, to build this upgrade so I could add one more slot into my guilds. And then I might actually upgrade something else. Let's see. Yeah, I'll upgrade this steel here by spending 1 coin and 2 action tokens. Okay. And then I could decide to use the market exchange. So that's 3 goods for any good, 3 mystics for any mystic, 1 talisman to increase a die, 2 ember gems to get 2 goods, dragon scale and charcoal to gain a coin and a good. So I could do that if I would like to. Unfortunately, I don't have a contract I want to receive right now, so I think I'll leave it like that. And now it's the end of season. We remove the bottom row of the guild, move everything down, and then refill it. You move this to the next season. You move the first player marker. You gather the dice and re-roll the dice. All right. So I do want to point out that there are numbers on these dice, and I'm just realizing I think that means the dice that go out will be this value. So I don't necessarily have to roll these. These tell me the number it needs to be. So that's something to keep in mind. And then, yeah, you would just continue in this fashion. You would also check at the end of the season if any titles were gained. So if either the AO or me completed enough contracts for, the armorer, then I'd be able to gain 8 gold and claim that title. And then at the end of the 4 seasons, you count up all the gold. You look at the spot you land on, add it up with the gold you have. Of course, make any conversions you need so that you have all the gold you can get before the end of the game. The AO should be pretty much all good on that end because you're converting to gold as you play. So that's pretty easy to manage there. But overall, that is how you would play a solo playthrough of Forges of Ravenshire. I hope you enjoyed this brief overview of the solo playthrough. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on videos like this. And if you've noticed any mistakes during this video, let me know. I'll make a note in the description. All right, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.